These videos are sponsored by PrimeXBT. If you want to support your boy, best way to do that is to use one of my ref links in the description of this video. Click the link, sign up, put in code MAIN20 for a 20% deposit bonus on your deposit. Can trade assets there like gold, silver, the US 500, nat gas, oil, obviously crypto as well, all with crypto as collateral. But if you want to support me and support the channel, leave likes, leave comments, retweets, use my ref links. So shout out to Prime. Thank you so much. So let's get into the charts here, guys, because as you know, I don't really trade based off the news. I trade based off the charts. So overall, I think high time frame, the charts still look fine. Looking at this monthly chart, I don't really see how this is bearish. On a monthly time frame, anything down into here is a buy for me, based on the monthly time frame. Just like anything down into here was a buy. Just like anything down into here was a buy. So the monthly time frame, to me, the trend is still up. We have higher lows and higher highs. You have a low, a high, a higher low, break in market structure here, and a higher high. So the monthly time frame is still bullish. The issue with the monthly time frame is, let's say we do get a very sharp pullback into here. Well, that's more than 10%. That's 20% from where we are now. If you're trading leverage, you're going to get fucked. If you're trading altcoins, you're going to get fucked on that type of pullback. So it's very easy to be like, don't worry, guys, the high time frame says we're going higher, when I know a lot of you are actively trading, you're trading on leverage, you're in altcoins, you're diversified in altcoins. These markets are extremely correlated. And if we get a 10, 15, 20% pullback on Bitcoin, expect altcoins to get slaughtered. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen. We do not have to give that nice, kind of classic retest. But what I am saying is you can be bullish high time frame on a big pullback and then price ends up making a new high. But if you were longing during this entire pullback, you're going to get smoked, right? Like if you were longing here, even though price resolved higher, you can get licked. You can lose all your money there. You got to be careful. If we are going to see a larger pullback, that it can fall pretty significantly. Even a shallower pullback could still be 10+%. And altcoins, if you're trading high leverage, like that type of stuff, you're going to get smoked. So what you don't want to do, and this goes back to my analogy from the start of the video, is you do not want to give up all the progress you made here on one of these, right? So if your P&L is going like this over the last 2 months, the last thing you want is one of these setting you back to where you were 2 months ago, and then you got started all over again. So I would exercise caution. Again, we can go up from here. I'm not saying that, we're for sure going to pull back 10, 15%, but be aware that we're into resistance. We didn't really get a great reaction from the news. We took out last month's high. There is a chance that we see some sort of correction or even just ranging, right? So perhaps we're no longer in this mode where you can just buy anything it goes up. Maybe price is going to go into, this type of mode where it does eventually go up, but it ranges for the next month or two, and it's a little bit choppier and it's a little bit harder to trade than, what we've had over the last 2 months. Because basically since the start of September, this uptrend, especially on a lot of altcoins, you could buy almost anywhere and end up in profit a few days later. So maybe that's changing, right? We had this consolidation here. We broke out. Now we're still consolidating. So really what I would like to see to kind of make a decision on what I think is most likely is I'd like to see one of two things happen. I would either like to see confirmed strength above the highs. So take out, we now have 1, 2, 3 highs here that are untouched. Get above those highs, put in some strength, and then buy on strength, or finally run some of these lows and then buy that nuke. Those are kind of the two scenarios that I'm looking to see happen. We have this big fair value gap down here, so we could run some of these lows, into this fair value gap and then get the move up. But this type of grindy price action like this, I don't have the greatest edge in this type of environment. I don't have an extremely confident bias in this type of environment. So I'd much rather the market tip its hand, right? So I want the market to give me a clue as to what is to come next, right? So a perfect example of that, is here. So when the market was chopping around here, we saw a move down, but then we saw that move down get bought up. And what the market did is it put in these two big gaps here. This is called displacement or fair value gap. But to me, this is a sign that the market has a willingness to go up. So when we made this next consolidation, my bias was still bullish. I was still looking for reasons to go up because to me, the run of these lows and then the reaction was a clue that the market wanted to go higher. So if we get something similar here where the market pulls back, but then we get a very nice reaction and we put in a couple moves up like this with a gap, that to me is a sign of strength. So we have these lows here at 34, and then we have a couple other lows at 32 to 33. So I would wait until we nuke those lows and then look for reasons to get long on some sort of sweep or some sort of fair value gap or something along those lines. Or I just want to see the market put in a little bit more of a bullish move, right? So maybe that means that, hey, it's going to go up from here to here. I'm going to miss the first part of this move, but then I can look to get long on some sort of retest. So I don't need to catch, right? I've been long from here. If we're going up to here and I'm not long, leverage or whatever, and then I need to get long here, I'm okay missing a small part of the move. Because if the move is like this, if you long this part of it, you're happy. You got the majority of it. You got the meat of the move. So you don't need to catch the entire thing. But I genuinely don't love this PA. I don't have like a clear edge where I'm like, okay, this for sure goes higher from right here. I don't know. So I'd wait to see if we get some sort of deeper pullback from, 32 to 34K, or just some consistent bullish PA. Maybe it's a low time frame uptrend. Maybe it's a fresh high above here. And then I look to get back involved on the leverage side. But just on Bitcoin specifically, I don't have the clearest view. So I just need to wait. Like I'm not always going to have the high probability. This is exactly the trade I want to take and it makes perfect sense. And I'm going to ape it. I'm going to 100% be right. It's not always the case. But if you're bullish, right, I would want to see something happen from this gray box, whether it's a sweep of this or just a move up from here. That would be the ideal because I don't think it just sweeps this low. Like I think if we do come down, I think we would probably sweep these lows over here as well. So we'll wait and see. This is an area where I could see us get a bounce. We have this raid candle after this sweep here. I would have liked to see, maybe this candle hold as a sweep. At one point during the day, this was looking like it was going to be a sweep. Maybe we come and sweep this low. But if you're looking to long in this area, to me, this is the invalidation for now. So we'll see what happens from here. I'm not in a leverage trade on Bitcoin, but I also haven't sold like a bunch of my spot. I'm still willing to hold that. I've got these lows marked out here, right? 33K lows. Then you obviously have this low here. So we'll see. Who knows? But I don't know what other bad news could come out that would negatively affect price anymore. Like they sued Kraken, CZ is stepped down, Sam is gone, SBF is gone, Do Kwon is gone, Mashinsky is gone. Like they're all gone. Who's left? Barry is gone. So I don't know what else could come out negatively. And we still have the ETF announcement to potentially get approved and go live as early as January, which I think would be bullish. So I'm still bullish overall. I'm still absolutely bullish on the high time frame, but the conditions over the last few weeks are not as easy as they were over the last 2 months. So I'm not interested in giving back the money that I made back in September, going into October and the start of November, especially with altcoins in November, right? I'm not interested in giving that money back, trying to chase in what I would consider lower probability conditions. I don't have as strong of a bias here. I don't have as strong of a view. So it's a lot harder for me to justify, taking some big leverage swing position or some big alt swing position here. I don't want to risk it, right? You want to lock in those gains. You want to continue to build that portfolio, build that stack. And then when the next high probability setup and high probability environment make themselves appear, that's when you get back in front of it, right? All right, so let's look at Ethereum here, guys. So Ethereum, I took a long based on this H12 sweep. So we're an H12 sweep here, okay? And then we have a breaker here. So here's your up candle for your down move that took out the low. We don't have a market structure break. You could argue this is a market structure break, but in reality, I want the market structure level before the sweep, which is all the way up here. So this wasn't a plus setup. This is more like a C plus or B setup because we don't have the market structure shift. I want the sweep and then I want the market structure shift of the high before the sweep. That's the A plus setup there. So the 4 hour, for example, you have the breaker here and you have the market structure break here. So the signal's better on the 4 hour, but this is an H12 setup. So I'm entering on the H12 sweep, the H12 breaker, but without the market structure break. So it's not kind of that A tier setup, but I still wanted to take it. I still thought it was good enough to pull trigger on. So I did. We got a very nice bounce to start the day. Came in, filled me, bounced. We were as high as like 20, 30. Obviously, have sold back off, getting a little little bit of a bounce here. So looking at this right now, I really would want to see us reclaim, and we're trying to, right? I'd really want to see us kind of reclaim this level here. I think we need to get above my entry basically, and then hold this as support for higher. So if this setup's going to work out, I would like to see us get above my entry. The worst case scenario here is my entry becomes resistance and we just nuke down. This is a trade where I'm risking a small percentage of my account. So if I get stopped out, it's not the end of the world, but it looked a whole lot better when I woke up this morning, and this was just like a very nice long wick, right? Like I woke up this morning, we had wicked in and we were trading up here. Obviously looks a lot worse now. So I want to see us get back above this 1970 area, and I'd like to see that hold as support. And then ideally, if this trade idea is going to play out, this needs to become a breaker. So there's your low that gets run. I need to see price really get above here. If we get above there, then I absolutely think it's time to go and run those equal highs, but it's looking a whole lot less likely right now. Right now, it looks like my entry may end up being resistance. So my entry is here. This might end up being resistance, and we might just nuke from here. And if that's the case, I'll be stopped out and I'll lose some money. And that happens, right? So ideally, this is it. We go up from here. We take out those equal highs at 2150. Ethereum still has not made a yearly high, which is just horrendous. It's been substantially weaker than the rest of the market. So I'd like to see that happen if we're going to get a larger correction. So I mentioned, a move back to 32, 33K on Bitcoin. If we're going to get a very large correction, well, where does 10% on ETH put us? It puts us right into this high time frame breaker setup. So to me, if we're going to get a large correction on Bitcoin, I'm looking to buy Ethereum 1800 down to 1750. I'd be looking to get some sort of significant correction, and that's where I'd be looking to buy the dip if we get a very big pullback on Bitcoin. So I'm talking 10% plus. I'm then looking to buy into this weekly breaker. We have the up candle that took out this low. We broke the market structure level here. That is the logical retest here of where I would like to get long for the next leg up if we're going to have a much larger market-wide correction. Obviously, I would prefer that we don't. I would prefer that the correction is shallow. I'd prefer that the low is already in and that we go up from here, because in that way, my long goes into profit and I don't lose any money. Could we have a sweep of this low and then go higher? Sure. Could we sweep this low and then go higher? Yes, but I think that if my stop is triggered and it's anything but an SFP, so if we get a close through here, I think the likelihood of us trading down to here is much higher. So set 1800 down to about 1720 would be my buy the dip zone on a very large market-wide correction on Ethereum. Because the weekly, to me, this is still an A1 setup here. Technically, the breaker is here, and you could take this entire zone. But effectively, I said, I want to see this retest hold. Like if this is the low for FBTC and we're front running this low and this high time frame demand, I wanted to see this retest hold. Looks like it's holding for now. But yeah, definitely need to see this retest hold, because if we break up again on Bitcoin and this thing fucking nukes, it's going to get ugly, and ETH is going to continue to underperform massively. So being someone that owns a lot of Ethereum, I would like to see this be the low on FBTC, and I'd like to see us trade back towards 0.6 and even higher, because if we trade down through here and Bitcoin goes up to 40K or something like that, and we trade down through here, Ethereum's going to look pitiful. And if we trade down through here and Bitcoin dumps, guess what? Ethereum's going to dump even harder. Crypto winter is officially here. We're starting a true bear market. What was this year and a half? Was this not the bear market? Was this the pre-bear market? Are you saying we're going down another 90% from where we're at now? Is that what you're saying? Because we already went down 80% over a year and a half, but we're now starting the bear market. Okay, that makes sense. I draw with my mouth. My mouse, not my mouth. Hello, penis. Okay, so does that make sense? What was the indicator you sneak peeked us a few lives ago? Oh, you mean this one? You mean this one right here that shorted the top on Bitcoin? Is this the indicator you're referring to? 12-hour SFP, market structure break, entry, take profit, all your back testing stats? You mean this one right here? Is this the one you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what indicator you're talking about. I don't know what that is. What the fuck? Had to grab the Glock, the stick, the machine. They just got to give me the bag. Send your boy a couple dollars. I mean, I don't know what to say about this one, bro. Why didn't you tell tell me about it back there before it went up fucking thousands of percents. Where was the, hey main, go all in with 10 grand on OTC on November 1st? Where's that call? That seems bad. Looks not great. Link Marine, buy Link while it's still cheap. My entry is better than yours, bro. I told you to buy it way back here. I posted this back in June, bro. Stop telling me about Link. Your boy Main, he had you juiced at the lows. Who told you first? Who's got 2 thumbs and deserves the clout? Oh wait, who has 2 thumbs and deserves the clout? It's me, motherfucker. Who? Me, motherfucker. I told you so before anyone else told you so.